So many people are getting this wrong with the driver, and this is what is costing you shots, and we can fix that going into this weekend. How many times I see people set up to a driver just like this, everything looks good from down the line, we've got the driver nice and flat, and then we start to see shots that come off the toe, still fade, and the driver hasn't done what you've wanted it to do, and it's straight into those trees. So guys, that's what we're going to talk about today on your Friday Fix here at the Everyday Golfer. Let's get into it. We see a lot of people try and get their lie angle flat, and often it ends up with the toe down there. That is going to be sending that club pointing to the right, so you're already favouring the right hand side. We often then see people who get a little bit like this. They're a little bit too far away from the ball. That toe sits off the ground, and from there we start to find the left side of the golf course. So what we start to see is people at setup not getting the club in the position that we want to see. So a lot of the times we often see, I've got to get that driver flat, we've often got to get it as flat as possible, I know that it's got to be nice and square to the ground. We start to see then that the heel is up, the heel is off the ground. And if we do that, that is opening that club face, that is getting that loft pointing a little bit right to start with. You'll also see from my hands will often get higher. I often stand a little bit upright and a little bit too close to that to make sure it's flat. Once we're from here, we can't generate a nice powerful swing. So from here, I'm going to have to try and manipulate getting into a position. And we know if we're manipulating our backswing, it's not going to be great going into the downswing. The other thing we start to see, so again, if you're starting to see shots move to the left, we often see people get a little bit too far away because I think, oh, I've got to give this a big swing. If I get further away, we then often see that the toe is in the air. If the toe is in the air, again, loft is now going to be pointing to the left, and we're going to start to hit shots there. If we put a normal swing on that, that's exactly where it should go. With a little bit of face plane tilt on there, the loft is going to point left, even more so with your irons, and this is what you've got to think. Start to think where your shots are going, where are your bad shots? Do they all go left? Do they all go right? This could be why. We want to make sure at setup, and even so with irons, that I'm nicely getting those arms underneath my shoulders, and we'll see that the toe of the club will actually sit a little bit up. So it'll be ever so slightly up, not flat to the ground. We know in the golf swing the shaft is actually going to bow, and if it bows, then that's going to where we get the centered strike from. So we've got to make sure when we're setting up, we're not too close to the golf ball with the heel off the ground. I'm not too far away with the toe in the air. We've got to get our arms under our shoulders, club 6 inches from our waistline, and from there we can commit to our shots and we can get a lot more ball speed and it down the centre. Just like that one. Nice towering draw down the middle. Give that a go this weekend, guys, and that can help you lower your scores.